like going from an employee to business owner? I mean, obviously having the marketing background, amazing, but I'm sure there'd be a steep learning curve in terms of other areas of the business that would have been an interesting journey for you.
I think it's all been a steep learning curve, to be honest with you, even the marketing side, because it's still totally different, right? Like you've got the fundamentals, but it's still, you're going from, you know, a team to you. But I think the big one for me has been product and product management. You know, we've built a tech product and I had no idea about product management before. And I read all the books and I did all the things they tell you to do. And then I did all the things they tell you not to do. And I did some of those as well. Yeah, you know, because it's like, well, it'll be different for me, obviously. Like I've read the book
clearly,
first,
yes.
So you know, I read the book, and I think that honestly has been the toughest, because you have to do all these things that you don't know how you're doing, right? Because one day you're the product manager, and then the next day you're the finance person, and then the day after that you're the salesperson. Where really you've come from a business, or I did certainly, where I've got a marketing background and I can do marketing. I had no idea how you build a product, or how you're a product manager, or you know, how I'm supposed to do the finances, or how I sell, to be perfectly honest, right? I worked with salespeople, but I'd never done it. And I think that's been the toughest learning curve, is you spend most of your time doing things that you actually don't know how to do, but you have to let other people know that you do know what you're doing, or at least to some extent that you're mildly competent, even though you're sitting there going, I've got no idea. And I think with that as well, like all the software, like building products, it's like we had whimsical boards, and then we had Figma, and then we had Jira, and then it's like every day I felt like I was learning a new piece of software as well as a new language to talk to product people or developers. So I think that's been the biggest thing. But probably real empathy, thinking back about old jobs, of how everything kind of came together. I had such a narrow view on things, because you just looked at everything from your point of view, from your marketing point of view, and probably didn't properly think about how all those other components fed into it. So yeah, real empathy for, I guess, how it comes together and how much effort it takes to build anything. But I guess in this instance, a product, like mind-blowingly hard.
Yes. Oh my God. Could not agree with you more. But it's interesting. I love that point about how everything comes together, because you're right. Like as a business owner or a founder, you are kind of going, okay, today I've got to be a marketing manager. Today I've got to be a salesperson. Today I've got to be a product manager. Today I've got to be finance. So you are chopping and changing, learning on the fly, but actually having the ability to step back and think about how everything does come together is really, really critical. And I think that we overlook it sometimes. We get so trapped in our to-do list that we actually feel bad if we're not on the tools. So that ability to actually say, you know, the magic actually happens when it all comes together. So being able to give ourselves a little space and love and kindness and say, you know, I'm going to take a couple of hours, or God forbid, the afternoon off, and look at things from that 30,000 foot overview. I think you're right. I think, yeah, it is a really interesting thing. I love the way you put it, like that empathy for the way everything actually comes together. I've not heard anyone say it like that, but I love it.
Yeah, I think to your point there, it's so easy. You've got your to-do list, and your to-do list is always 100 items long, and you're never going to get through it. And sometimes you forget big picture. So actually taking those breaks to go, right, what is the strategy rather than tactical execution is so important, but probably the hardest thing to do, because that to-do list is never going to decrease anytime soon.
Totally. And I think we feel guilty, but I think that, you know, when you do step back, it helps prioritize that to-do list. You know, it's one of those things that the other challenge we face as entrepreneurs is that we have a billion ideas, and like, we can improve it that way. We can do that. We can try that marketing. We can do this. And so the to-do list is never ending, also because we have like idea spam. And, you know, actually being able to prioritize it is that act of stepping back, thinking big picture, thinking strategically.
I love ideas spam. I'm going to steal that.
Totally.